Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Jana Price-Sharps. Thank you for joining me for this video. I'm going to talk about a little bit of a deep subject today. We talk all the time about domestic violence and domestic violence against women, and that is an incredibly important topic, and it affects every household that is exposed to that. It affects people long-term for, maybe the rest of their lives often. And so that is an important topic, and we do have shelters for women, and we have quite a few services for women in most communities. And even with that, we end up with women who are killed and women who are tortured and beaten and harmed. So most people, when I say domestic violence, that's what they think of. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit different part of domestic violence, one that most people don't really think about a whole lot, and that is about domestic violence against men. And I want you to know that this video in no way is meant to diminish the topic of domestic violence against women, because again, that's a very important topic. But there is also domestic violence against men. At least from the literature, it is shown that women put hands on more than men. Now, granted, when a guy puts hands on, they are much more likely to do severe damage, breaking bones and shattering ribs and that kind of thing. When women put hands on, it may not do the physical damage, but it does do psychological damage. And so the other issue then becomes, what do guys do when they're being abused? It's been my experience that most of them explain to me they're not really being abused. In part maybe because they've shared it with somebody and people say, well, yeah, but you're a big guy, you should be able to handle that. So what does that mean? Should they just hit back? Well, then they're going to get arrested for domestic violence and possibly spend some time in jail. If they're a police officer, they're going to lose their job. So what do guys do when they're being abused? When they're being hit, when they're being screamed at, when they are being controlled, when the finances are taken out of their hands, when they're being shoved, even when they're being raped. Yes, it is possible. And I'm not going to go into all the details of that, but there are men who have been raped by women or sexually assaulted. And so what happens to a guy when that happens? It is just as destructive as it is to a woman. And very often, if they do try and call somebody for help, they're made fun of, they're told that they're weak or whatever. We wouldn't do that to a woman. Why are we doing that to our guys? It is never, ever okay to put hands on unless it's in self-defense, folks. I don't care if you're female, male, transgender, whatever. I don't care what nationality, what ethnic background you have, what religious background you have. It is never okay to put hands on. It's not okay to get up in somebody's face and scream at them. It is not okay to call people names. In intimate partnerships, whether you're married or you're in a partnership, whether you have an alternative lifestyle or you're straight, it is not okay to aggressively assault another person verbally or physically. And it happens all the time. And unfortunately, when we watch, the news or even social media, it's become almost vogue to attack people and to rip them apart and call them names. And I can tell you this, if you want happiness in your life, you can't do that to other people, and you cannot allow it to be done to you. If you're a male and you're listening to this video and somebody is verbally or physically abusing you, it's okay for you to leave. It's okay for you to get out of that relationship, because that is never okay, ever. It is not okay to be physically or verbally abused by anyone. And if you're in a relationship with somebody that's doing that, my suggestion is, if that person's not willing to change, you leave, because that is soul destroying over time. And what will end up happening is people become dissociated from that. I've had my dear guys in law enforcement who've come in and they have, I don't know, a fat lip. I'll say, how'd that happen? They go, you know, some excuse. Sound familiar? Women do it all the time that are in DV relationships. And when they finally tell me their wife threw something at them, I'll say, well, did you report it? Oh, no. It's not a big deal. Really? Really? Somebody threw something at you and it's not a big deal? Yeah, it is. It's not okay. Ever. Okay? And I'll say, well, that's domestic violence. Oh, no. Why? Because they're bigger than their wife. How does that make it okay? Okay? I'll ask them if they're an officer, and some of my folks are not. But if it's an officer, I'll say, so if you rolled up on that call, what would you call it? Oh, domestic violence. Well, what would you have done? Well, I'd arrested her. Oh, so when it's happening to somebody else, it's domestic violence. When it's happening to you, it's somehow okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is never okay. So today, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, take action. Start making your plan to get out or to resolve the situation if it's resolvable. But don't continue to take the abuse. It's never okay. Take care of yourself. And if you're the abuser and you're listening to this, stop. You want that person to be with you because they love you, not because they're afraid of you. You want to have a relationship where that person cares about you, rather than they're just staying because they're intimidated or afraid to leave or afraid what you will do to them if they leave. Wouldn't it be amazing if they walk through the door and they're walking through that door because they want to be with you? Stop. If you have a bad temper, go take a walk. Go mow the lawn. Until you can play nice, go do something else and then think about how you can approach that partner. Stop the violence. Take care of each other. There's enough crazy stuff in the world as it is. Don't make the home the crazy place, because your kids will pay for it forever. So stop. Be nice. Be kind to each other. And have a wonderful day. Take care of you. Bye-bye.